Why are young women irresistibly attracted to older men? Is it just about money, stability, or is there something deeper that most men don't even suspect? I'm Christopher, and if you've ever thought your best years are behind you, let me tell you something. You're completely wrong. I've spent over 5 years working with men of all ages, and I can assure you of one thing. Older men, men in their 40s, 50s, and even 60s, are having more success with women today than they did at 25. Yes, even with younger women. And no, it's not just about money. That's the easy excuse. The one people use when they don't really understand how female attraction works. Because here's the truth. There's something about the energy of a man who has lived, who has fallen and gotten back up, who isn't desperate to impress. That triggers something deep in a woman's mind. Instinctively, women can sense when they're in front of a man who has nothing left to prove, but so much to teach. And that, brother, is pure gold in the game of seduction. So in this video, I'm going to reveal 5 secret qualities that make an older man incredibly attractive, even to younger women. And if you apply these qualities, no matter your age, your looks, or your bank account, you'll notice a radical shift in how women perceive you. Because experience, when used correctly, doesn't make you old. It makes you valuable. Subscribe if you haven't already, and stay until the end. Because the last quality is the one that breaks all the myths. Why does this happen? Why can a 45, 50, or even 60-year-old man be more attractive than a 25-year-old guy? The answer, brother, lies in the qualities that only time can forge. Because yes, having some financial stability helps. We're not going to lie. But that's not what truly drives them crazy. What attracts them is something else. It's that combination of experience, controlled energy, and inner confidence that an older man radiates when he stops trying to impress and starts simply being. First, there's the confidence that comes with years of experience. These men aren't in, "I hope she likes me" mode. They're in, "This is who I am, and if you don't like it, that's fine" mode. That calm confidence, that unmasked authenticity, women pick up on it in seconds, and they find it magnetic. Then there's emotional maturity. After going through breakups, mistakes, and life lessons, these men no longer react like a jealous teenager or an impulsive wreck. They know how to listen. They know what they want. And most importantly, they know how to express it with calmness and certainty. And as if that wasn't enough, they haven't lost their spark. Yes, they have more years, more history, but they also know how to spark a conversation, how to make a date fun, how to laugh at themselves. That mix of depth and humor is emotional dynamite. So no, it's not about money. It's about vibrating differently, about having an energy that only comes when you've lived, learned, and evolved. So if you are in your 40s, 50s, or beyond, you're not late. You're in your prime. And now, let's break down one by one those secret qualities that make an older man irresistible to a woman, even if she's younger. Get ready, because here comes the first one. And this one, I guarantee you, could change the way you see yourself forever. Secret quality number 1, certainty. There's something women can detect in seconds. And it's not your clothes, it's not your car, it's your certainty. Certainty is more than confidence. It's that quiet conviction that you are the best option, that what you do, what you say, even where you take her, is worth it. Many older men, when they get back into the dating world, come in with doubts. What if I'm not attractive anymore? What if she doesn't like my taste in music? What if I seem old? And that's where they lose, before they even be. Because attraction isn't about knowing what's trendy. It's about having the strength to say, This is who I am. This is what I like. And if you come with me, you're going to have an amazing time. When you hesitate to plan a date, when you ask her where she wants to go because you're afraid of making the wrong choice, what you're really saying, without realizing it, is, I don't trust myself. And women pick up on that, and they react to that. Certainty is so powerful that it can completely change the way a woman perceives you. You can be an older man and project mystery, attractiveness, and strength. Or you can project insecurity, awkwardness, and neediness. What's the difference? How you feel about yourself. And look, I'm not telling you to go chase after some young girl. This isn't about age. It's about the fact that there are women, of all ages, who feel a real, deep attraction to men who project certainty. Because, like I always say, many women have that decide for me instinct. They look for signals. They look for emotional leadership. And if you don't give them that, they'll go with someone who does. And pay attention to this. I've worked with hundreds of older men who, even when they get clear signs that a woman is interested, hesitate to make a move. They hold back. They go into mentor mode, friend mode, neutral mode, and they miss their chance. Why? Because they don't believe she could actually want them. And that internal doubt, that lack of certainty, locks them into the wrong role. Brother, stop asking for permission to be desired. Start walking with the energy of a man who knows he has value, who doesn't need validation to make a move. Certainty is not arrogance. Certainty is being so clear about your authenticity, your worth, and your intent that you don't care whether she says yes or no, because you know that what you bring to the table is worth it. So the next time a woman looks at you, show her, with your attitude, your voice, your decisiveness, that going out with you is a damn good idea. And I guarantee you, she will react to what you project. Secret quality number 2, being non-reactive. There's something that happens when you're in front of a woman, especially a younger one, at some point. She's going to test you. She doesn't do it to be mean. She doesn't do it to humiliate you. She does it because she wants to see what you're made of. And this is where one of the most attractive qualities in a mature man comes in. Being non-reactive. What does that mean? It means you don't lose your cool over nonsense. You don't justify yourself. You don't get nervous if she throws a provocative comment your way. Your inner world doesn't shake just because someone poked at your ego. Because look, if you're an older man talking to a younger woman, she's not entirely sure about you yet. You could be the interesting, mysterious, attractive guy. Or you could be the weird, insecure guy who's trying too hard. And to figure that out, she's going to throw small tests your way. She might say, "Are you my dad's age?" "Ugh, those shoes." Or she might just ask with a teasing tone, "How old are you?" And right there, brother, everything gets decided. If you react by justifying yourself, well, I mean, I'm 55, but I take care of myself, you know. People always say I don't look it. You lost. Why? Because in that moment, you gave her the power. You showed that her validation is more important than your authenticity. And that is not the role she wants you to play. She doesn't want the older man to try to impress her. She wants to feel like she's the one who needs to impress him. And how do you do that? With calm, with humor, with strategic indifference. She says, "I don't like guys who wear that." And you respond with a calm smile. "Thanks for the fashion advice." And then you change the subject like it's nothing. In that moment, you passed the test. Because being non-reactive isn't coldness, it's emotional security. It's knowing that your value is not negotiable based on someone else's opinion. The more unshakable you remain, the more attractive you become. Because you're projecting that your world doesn't get thrown off by a sarcastic comment. And in a world full of insecure men, that's a superpower. So the next time a woman tests you, remember this. It's not about passing the test by answering correctly. It's about showing her, through your attitude, that you're not even taking the test. Secret quality number 3, quiet power. There's something young men still don't understand. And that is, true masculinity doesn't need to be loud. A man with quiet power doesn't shout authority. He doesn't brag. He doesn't dominate. But he leads. And you know what makes him so attractive? He gets things done. And he does it without drama, without complications. A lot of young women are used to dating guys who have no idea what they're doing. Guys who need to be guided, corrected, pushed, and sooner or later, that exhausts them. But when a mature man comes along, a man who has his life together, who knows how to handle things, who takes initiative without hesitation, brother, that's a breath of fresh air for them. Picture this. You're at a restaurant. She orders a medium rare steak, but they bring it out dry as a rock. She hesitates. She doesn't want to seem rude. She stays quiet. And you, without raising your voice, simply call the waiter over and say, confidently, "Excuse me, could you ask the chef to prepare it the way she ordered?" "Thanks." And then you go right back to your conversation like nothing happened. That, my friend, is quiet power. And believe me, she will notice. Because you're not being aggressive. You're being a calm leader. And that's an energy that very few young men have. But a mature man can project effortlessly, if he chooses to. Secret quality number 4, integrity. We live in a world full of broken promises, full of guys who talk big, but do little. And that's why, when a man keeps his word, he stands out. He becomes different. He becomes rare. And rare is attractive. Integrity doesn't mean being perfect. It means saying what you're going to do and actually doing it. But a lot of older men, when they get back into dating, fall into the trap of making excuses. They complain, women only want money. They don't appreciate real men anymore. And let me tell you something, with love, but with firmness. That's a victim mindset. Because you don't need to be rich to attract women. You need to be reliable. You need to be the kind of man who, if he says, "I'll pick you up at 7," is there at 6:55. If he says, "I'm taking you to this place," then that's exactly what happens. She doesn't want stories. She wants actions. And when she sees that your word means more than any excuse, she starts to trust you. And where there is trust, there is attraction. Secret quality number 5, projecting desire with emotional leadership. Going on a date with a woman and going in for a kiss isn't being bold or inappropriate. It's simply part of the human dance of desire. Two people who like each other move closer. They look at each other. They touch. They kiss. But many men, especially older men, don't dare to take that step. And then they say, "She put me in the friend zone." The truth? Nobody puts you there. You put yourself there through your own attitude. You put yourself in the friend zone when you act like one, when you hide your attraction, when you're afraid to show your real intentions. A lot of older men feel guilty about flirting with a younger woman. They think, what if it's wrong to like her? What if she judges me? What if I come across as a weird old guy? And so, they hold back. They talk like friends. They act like colleagues. And she, like any woman, simply responds to the energy you project. If your vibe is, "You couldn't possibly be interested in me," she's going to say, "You're right." But if your vibe is, "You're standing in front of a man with history, with presence, with desire, and I'm not afraid to show it," she's going to feel it, and she's going to react. Because like I said before, many women have that "decide for me" mindset. They're watching you, looking for cues to know how to feel. And if you come in hesitant, apologizing, or asking for permission, the story ends before it even begins. So stop obsessing over how much money you have or whether you're fashionable. Start obsessing over this. Am I being confident? Am I showing desire without fear? Am I leading the interaction with calm and direction? Am I passing her tests without losing my center? Am I showing integrity in what I say and do? Because that's where real attraction is. In how you walk, in how you talk, in how you react when she tests you. And you don't even flinch. Brother, don't be afraid to desire her, but do it from a place of security, not neediness. It's time to let go of the idea that you need to prove to a woman that you have money. It's not about cash, it's about presence. It doesn't matter if you're 35, 40, or 50. If you apply the qualities we covered today, certainty, non-reactivity, quiet power, integrity, and emotional leadership, you will become magnetic. And not just to them, but to yourself. Subscribe now, drop a comment, and tell me, which of these qualities are you going to work on first? I'm Christopher, and I'll see you in the next video, brother, where I'll teach you how to become the guy that every woman wants, and few men understand.